So it's the finals in 2 minutes, and I'm just gonna like watch it, so like you guys can watch it too. So like all of you that can't watch it, like that is like out somewhere and like you're doing something, you're busy, but like you're on your way somewhere, you can just watch it, I suppose. Even though I'm not that big, but I'm just saying, bro, if you want to, I mean, you can watch it like on there, because I'll be streaming. Oh my god. So if you want, why I just do this in 2 minutes and 14 seconds it'll be starting, and we can just watch it together. So it's going to be just a gameplay, and I'll just be silent while we watch it. I'm going to watch the full thing with you guys. I want you guys to enjoy it, so this might be like a wild stream. Might be like an hour, 2 hour, or 3 hour stream. I don't care no matter what, how long it is. I'm still doing it. Oh. This one shoots out loads, it done it. Holy zombies. Whoever's in the stream, welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna be like doing where like I've just watched the full final and it starts in a minute, and like I just not watching, and like I'll just be silent while you can watch it, I guess. Like for you can't watch it. We're starting in 30 seconds. Here you go. Here it is. I just started it. Just get ready. I don't know why I'm on my best Spider-Man. It's just I can't put my Fortnite cover. So here we go. Let's do this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's starting!
Fortnite fam, we've missed you guys so much, and now we are here for the grand finals of the Fortnite Champion Series. Now you guys know I'm Zeke, but let's introduce the crew that will be hanging out all weekend long. On the left of me, you've got Sundown, the luscious locks, T-posing on everyone with a nice little dab. In the back, you've got Dr. Lupo. He recently won an award for being an incredible human being. And to his right, you've got
my iPhone 6.
Content creator, and people still confuse us for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Whoever's watching, welcome.
Shia Wagers, the big man with even bigger plans. He's a 10 out of 10, and by the end of the stream, he'll be eating a cup of mayonnaise. Now, Fortnite fam, I know you guys are ready to get into all of the action, but first, we should probably get all these new faces to the broadcast up to speed on how the broadcast is going to be run. Let's start with the broadcast schedule. So right now we're going to be hopping into Europe during one of the heats going on right now. Later on, we'll take a look at some of the replays from Middle East that happened this morning with a live look at Brazil after that. And then
7,
we'll wrap the day
8,
with NA East.
4
now, how are these guys
hours in
racking
4
up
hours.
points? Let me get you up to speed on that. So first off, 9th through 12th will get you 3 points. Like placing between 5th and 8th is 6. 3 and 4th, I'm sorry, 3rd and 4th is 9 points. 2nd place is 12 points, and that victory royale is worth 15.
Ton. Nothing. Sorry.
And here is a prize distribution for this weekend. A lot
1,420,420,100,000.
Season champions across all regions is an even better feat. Now, before hopping into the games, we made some predictions earlier on in the week for Europe. There is one among us that is had a bit of a different opinion, and that's fine. We'll get there. But Sundown, why don't you tell us about our predictions from Europe?
So I'll talk about our predictions, since the rest of us decided that, you know, we had a brain and were able to look at what went on in the past 5 weeks. And Mitra, Mongrel, and Benji just wipe the floor with the rest of the region. They average a 1.4 placement, 3 wins, 2 second places. I know I've always harped on it, but it took literally 4 really, really bad games in both of those weeks for them to get barely edged out into second place. And any other time they've played their game, they've been on top. But Shai, it seems like you went a different direction.
Well, like, I understand they got their high placements, they're in their high castle, but personally, I see a revolution coming. I predict the upset, Stop Lee Chicken and Aqua actually taking it all home at the end of the grand finals. They're amazing, but I think they won't have it what it takes ultimately, and Aqua will steal the race at the very end.
Well, we'll have to see how things pan out for these trios. Now, like I said earlier, by the end of the broadcast, Shai will be eating a cup of mayonnaise if MMB wins out in Europe. So we'll have to see if that pans out for everyone. Now, guys, we are going to be jumping into game number 2 of heat number 1 in Europe. We're going to be jumping right into all the action.
Sorry about that, bro.
Monster D-Face, Dr. Lupo, gentlemen, take it away.
Zeke, thank you very much. For those that are confused, Shai went on Twitter and made a bet and said if the 3 that we've all, I mean, we've seen them just absolutely destroyed thus far. If they do in fact win, then he will eat not a cup, an entire jar of mayonnaise on stream. And to be quite honest with you, I think that might be some of the best content that I've seen on the internet in quite a while. Now, going into Europe here, like I said,
Join the stream. I'm on there. You can watch the live
Monster, before we jump right into it, what do you think?
live stream, like the live thing, and I'm streaming for it. Go watch it.
Let this one kind of digest as we jump into these games. But let's go ahead and hop right in.
Yo, I'm gonna go live on Insta.
They're trying to get to the grand finals. There's going to be a lot of action unfolding today, Dr.
Lo and behold, 95 players remaining. Only one trio in Hull has gone down. And we're jumping right into retail with the trio themselves, Benji, Mongraal, and Mitro. Honestly, some of the most dominant players in solos and duos, and now they're trioed
Just
up.
get it, bro. We're live.
Crazy.
And I'm
kid
also
already.
streaming,
Gold
so
RPG.
I'm live with this, guys.
Literally what I want to touch
Got
on
my
right
friends
there.
in between my
The
legs.
retail row loot
Look at the inventory.
sets them up for success. You're looking at straight up legendary inventory. And the best of the best, what do they choose? Shield bubbles. Shield bubbles, one of the new items introduced to Fortnite, and it's a great item, right? It's so versatile. So you're going to see shockwaves, you're going to see launch pads, campfires, and even with the recent adjustment to the loot, the way it's divvied out here in retail, it's still so prominent in the loadouts. You're going to see the difference. And just look at the map on the side. Basically, no one around them to contest.
It's wild to think. So I'm going to say it, and I'm pretty sure everyone is already thinking it, as we've seen them play over the course of the qualifiers for this event. If no one contests retail, or it's lightly contested, let's say somebody drops Blacktops and they take Resi side, or however it's split.
I can tell you what that means.
Benji Fish Young.
Sayo is 100%
eating the mayonnaise.
Eating the mayonnaise.
100% guaranteed eating the mayonnaise. In fact, production, can we get a jar of mayonnaise ready just at some point before Sunday? Because based on what we've seen thus far, we have an insane mat count across the board already. Look at the inventory. This is ridiculous.
Oh, my first
are
phone. Alright, inventory is
11
good.
points already going into game 2. Game 1 must have we'll have to take a look back and we can see exactly how that played out for them the previous round. But they're moving in. They have maybe, granted, we can see on the minimap that there's nobody at Dusty Depot right now, but that's a potential drop spot for a trio at this point. But right now it's uncontested. You see there's builds there and there's no one around. They have free rotation in to see where the next circle ends up. Meanwhile, you're going to have teams smushed up against each other already on the movement in, fighting it out. We're looking all the way to the north side of the map, just past the block. A number of players probably dropping up there.
And this is a veteran team right here. The Vic, Robabs, and Falcony been around the scene for a long while here, and they are just dictating the pace of this battle here as they're trying to look for this push right now.
My name's
not going to be effective.
Lumen Lane. If you want to search me up on YouTube, Lumen Lane, and watch the stream.
Down comes a stinker. That's going to have to push him back, and should be a nice, easy close-in. You see right there.
I'm zoned inside. One box left. The quick edit. The swap. Lands
the
shot. Trap from above.
Oh,
basically no damage taken.
It's a good attempt. Pretty good attempt right there. Did try to, catch the Vic off guard, but he was fast enough. Managed to kind of sneak on through.
By the way, on the right side of your screen, here's the results of Game 1. You see Mongraal, Mitro, Benji Fishy taking 5th place. Arbelfly, Miro, and Zoe in the first place position up there, which means 15 points for that trio. There's the remainder of your top 10. Just a quick info blast there for you if you did not see Game 1 on any of the channels that might be streaming their gameplay right now.
And I love that. I love that we can see exactly where we're at with the leaderboard. That was the wrap-up of Game 1, your top 10 teams coming into Game 2 now. And remember, every single heat, they're going against one another. So we're going to see rivalry. The best, like that leaderboard is
I might end the stream, so I might have watched all of it.
Every battle, they're going against each other.
With the exception
I forgot your name. New live. I'm live, by the way. I forgot your name. Oh, Chris. Chris, yes.
Anybody else can't potentially take that top spot. It's very possible. I mean,
Louis Lane, my channel. If you want to watch it, because it's live right now.
This is an excellent trio in itself. But man, just the dominant gameplay from MMB.
Nah, Chris, I'm gonna when it gets to, I might stream for 30 minutes, and then I'll join your party. Invite me when our numbers you see up there.
Hunter, Sky, and Keemstar are just gonna base up, kind of sit just outside of the Tilted Town. You can take a look at that map there.
I'm not playing Rainbows. I'm not playing Rainbow yet.
The high grounds are being claimed.
I'll put when it gets to 30 minutes, that's when I'll end the stream, end the live, and we can play some
Get a
six.
little bit of that RNG, right? Get that zone to fall in their favor, because otherwise they'd have to burn.
You see the numbers in the corner how you stream.
Resource early on.
I will say, over 10 seasons of Fortnite, this hill has been one of the most consistent high ground advantage spots to take, and even now you're looking down Tilted Town where there's no building. You have essentially free shots on players that do, for some reason, choose or are forced to rotate through there. This spot is insanely good. You have clear line of sight on so many different locations. Even the high hill to the north, which is high ground elevation-wise, you still have a clear line of sight on a majority of what's up there. There's only a little nub at the top that can block line of sight.
2 people watching the stream.
On the north side of that hill. This trio, Sky, Keemstar, Hunter, they're in a great spot going into the next circle.
Absolutely. There's no reason for them to move right now either. As you said, they have a nice line of sight over the field here. And all those tags, those are crucial tags. Remember, Storm Surge can affect anyone here, so you have to be proactive. You can't just sit around and be complacent with your positioning. You have to be actively seeking for damage if you don't want to get taken out by the Storm Surge. But here we have another little engagement about to go down here. It looks like the Vic is currently turning.
When the game finished, this game, I'll end the stream.
Southeast there, the gas station. Plus
At least you got the game, because I want to play 6 with my friends. Or Rainbow Six Siege. You get what, 6 minutes?
Advantage. You don't want anybody to apply too much pressure. Plus, they are further away from the zone. So the team from TCK, they are in a good spot to just try and stormhold this, if that's what it comes down to. You have 3 potential point pickups here, eliminations. Actually, pressure going in here. Muser taking the high ground on top of this trio. Used that shockwave and got up on top. I would expect pressure from the other 2 here momentarily. We will see. But there is another trio. Look on the minimap. You have another team coming in from behind. So now both the trios that we just saw on your screen right now that are fighting it out here at this northeast building in Pleasant, they're about to get stormheld by another team down there. They're moving in as well. There's going to be 3 teams fighting basically in one building in a second here. Gems is eliminated. You have a couple pickups there. The Vic. 3 eliminations now, a ton of materials, but you do have literally another team on top of them right now.
And that's what happens when Storm Surge comes into effect. People do desperate things. So this team was totally fine, parked up here, but now they have to force the push here. They have to defend themselves. And they get the tags, they get the trades, and their entire trio is still standing. This is a 3-way battle going on here, all of which is probably forced out because of Storm Surge now.
I guarantee you there's
Robab did a good job here. He's going to get shot in the back. He's the most hurt. He's actually going to shockwave through, trying to find himself a better position here, Dr. Lupo. And he does. He breaks away. He's got a little bit of time to himself now.
Good call there to try and rotate away. They are a little split at this point. Falconly's going to have to rotate back. Junior 7 Josh and Tom Wamo all stacked up next to each other right there in front of the garage of that building. Wonder if the campfire is going to be a clue for them. If they do spot it and realize they might be low HP, might be the time to push if they have a way to pressure. 5 shockwaves.
I wonder who's watching, though.
Rotation here in a minute.
Text in the chat whoever's watching if you can, because I want to know who's watching.
Coming clutch might be time for it. You see him line it up. In fact, he might even be marking
if you like can watch.
Get ready to go. Indeed, that's what he was doing. There we go. Rotation all the way south. Look at that solid push ahead of the team that did apply pressure moments ago. They have the circle advantage now, and now they are sitting at the forefront able to storm hold.
And
a big move there.
Reckless push. They had the zone right here.
They did.
They go outside the storm, the safety zone, just to try and force that fight, and then failed.
You got to think the potential chance of taking damage from the storm, the storm surge might have been the reason for the push. Not 100% sure. We didn't have the number up on the screen at that moment, but you have to think throwing away a positional advantage.
Oh,
the last second there, especially because you know the storm
3 HP, you wonder.
So they know that at some point, if
He's
they're
got
going to push, they need to make it quick,
die.
or they just need to wait. Chose to move out there, and now they're on the outside. Meanwhile, 3 HP. The other 2 from the trio. Matsui Amplify still up. This is the winners from game 1, by the way.
Oh, they are.
25 points, a big lead going into game 2.
This is what we like to call
shadows.
Miro with no heals, 3 HP in a dream. Amplify also equally hurt. They do have a couple of eliminations to their name here, but it's looking pretty dicey.
Look on your mini-map. They have to rotate past so many teams, and they're sharing loot right now just to try and give everybody a chance. I almost would say maybe Miro drop everything that he's got just in case, any chance to boost up the other 2, because at this point, 3 HP is not the best situation to be in. Here we go, Matsui pushing forward. The other 2 not yet on his tail. You can watch in the mini-map just a second there.
You actually have to appreciate Matsui kind of leading the charge here. He's the only one with shield on his team, so he says, you know what, I'm going to go out first. I'll do the building. I'll do the leading here, taking the pack to the next zone. And, I mean, it gets him a little bit closer to the safety spot. I think the play here is either catch a pick, get this siphon, or buy time, right? Hopefully a launch pad comes down. You guys get a little share time on it, and they can get that way to the zone.
That audio cue, you hear the shockwave, that actually is a very good signal for them. Being low HP, they don't want to make a move before somebody else. And Hunter gets almost beamed into the ground, but now they know that they're basically free to rotate. The team that was potentially going to be a problem. Big hit there. Gets the elimination on Hunter. Very valuable. Amplify does, in fact, go down. You see in the top left.
Hello.
Braxo takes him down from D-Mine. 23 trails remaining. 61 players total. The threshold on the middle right, they're 343 damage above. But Miro still sitting on only 3 HP. The mini's going to be a big pickup there. Now 53 total.
At least he gets him a little more health here, right? Puts him in the game, keeps him in the running just for a little longer. Now he has the option to pick up this blue pump, and he actually is going to opt into keeping the gold tack. That's actually a pleasant surprise there. Wouldn't have thought that, the pros would take the slower pull-out time from the gold tack over the blue pump.
You get a 200 damage hit with the blue pump. Can mean the difference between making it into the circle and getting stopped by somebody. Maybe you get surprised inside your own box, somebody takes your wall. Situational awareness is big for the blue pump to be extremely effective, and your accuracy has to be on. But, man, when the thing hits, it really hits.
Really got to appreciate this push right here, because they're still fighting for this game right here. There's a minigun over to the left. That hit right there is going to hurt a lot, though, because, again, the heals are so sketchy.
He's 1 tap with a pistol, and no, 2 taps, because... Oh, no, he is 1 tap, yeah, from a pistol, grey pistol.
Back right corner, Miro down to 49 on the ground. Matsui probably going to have to leave him out to dry there. Another team making moves on the side. The safe zone.
Oh, unlucky Mirror.
Unlucky Mirror. Current safe zone, you see the bottom right there, the mini-map. 5 damage below the threshold. Skype solo right now, looking for a tag.
Yes, come on.
Hello?
Cole.
Right,
yeah?
I'm streaming right now, so can you, like, hold on. I'm gonna turn down my TV. Hold on, stop talking, my TV's so loud. I'm streaming on my phone, like, live on Insta, and on, like, my PlayStation.
Wait, I'm watching you? Nice. I'm gonna lay down.
Streaming on Insta too. There's a lot of opportunity here. We still have a number of games left. Camo, Army, and Pepper at the top of this.
Wait, you're in the final?
When my stream gets to 30 minutes, I'm going on Rainbow Six Siege with my mates.
While the minigun is going, love the tactics. You don't see too much minigun. Other regions right now. This Tomoamo does go down. Well, imagine that many rounds from a trio.
Or when this game ends.
Single build and you're by yourself. Basically GG at that point.
And this team here is also just heavy on the elims right now. An effective 7+ for the squad right here. And they have the prime position to catch the picks of anyone rotating from the backside. This is actually perfect too, right? The heavy projection is below them. They don't have anyone up here in this layer with them. The closest person is this trio right here to their left. And it looks like it's time to get that focus fire on. Here comes the minigun.
The mark for attacking right there. Stink to apply and
check my toe away.
Use those HP tags that pop up, the 5, to see where your opponents are rotating. Now they're in literally the very bottom of the same builds. You have a ton of people stacked up next to each other at this point.
I'm just gonna end the stream as a piece, guys.
Pepper and Harmy look like they still have the ultimate.
I just ended my flipping
right now. That being said,
not my actual
west of the current safe zone, and they need to rotate southeast. Hopefully somebody's got a long pad or shockwaves in the inventory to make this rotation. Otherwise they're gonna have to build across and tarp for everyone else underneath them. You do still see Benji, Fishy, Mongrel, and Mitro right there on your screen. They are still in this one. Looking down from almost the same angle. Here we go. Rotation with the launch pad. Well above the damage threshold for Storm Surge. Excellent spot, and 12 rockets in the RPG. They're going to build on pre-built structure over there. Somebody else put up. It might even be their own builds.
And this is exactly what you want to study from this star trio right here. Zone 6, they go for the high ground. So they're actually going to take the high ground. He's going to catch 2 on the knock right there, which means that team is really hurting now. That's going to be Voron who gets taken out there. Voron was also in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a power takedown right here. It's going to allow this trio to just get one step closer, kind of breaking away, getting, you know, Shio Wager, the mayonnaise tub to the face. So we'll see if it, comes to fruition before the day's up.
Mitro staying a little bit towards the back, keep throwing down those RPGs at players that are rotating, or the builds to see if we can get drops on people. Mitro pick it up. There's those 2 elims in the feed, so he did secure both of them. That puts the entire trio at 6 total right now, 17 points. And we're looking at placement now, top 15 trios remaining. Only 29 players, though, as the elimination feed is starting to light up across the board. These are the zones.
Oh my god, guys,
really
you know,
cut the player count down.
Jim Jones is telling the gang member to kill 6-9.
With an RPG. Are you kidding me?
But
they are in the best spot.
Remember, it still hurts to hold high ground from zone 6 so early. They're going to be forced to jump down soon if they can't, kind of map conserve properly. They're getting broken down consistently now by the shockwaves. These are one of the cons that happen when you take that high ground, because you don't get the pleasures of looting the players you drop, right? It's just like that. All that loot's gone. They actually can't use it.
And every time you hear a shockwave, you'll see these players snap and look up in the air to see if they can try and find who's on the fly. In case you have free shots as that elimination is secured. Mitro picking up a knock on Falconly in the feed. Another one for the trio, 7 remaining. I've got to say, if this is not a win for this team, I don't know what is.
It's going to be a close one. Mongo actually did not have any more AR left in his gun. There's no more RPG left here. It's a straight-up shotgun battle. This is a crucial elim. That's going to get them some of the resources that they need to hold this high ground here. And it looks like it's cutting back across. So they're going to be able to kind of reuse some of their resource here. We have a couple players left in the game here. Red Rush in the low ground. Shaka and Cal as well.
Game almost ended, guys.
Attack sub SMG so good for shredding through builds right here, and honestly, they can pierce through the turbos like right there. These are the shots. Good pressure right here from Mitro, putting down the fire, putting all the ammunition to use here. We're almost in the final zone now. This is it. Storm Zone 9. The close in will happen. Looks like Benji Fishy's going to go for that high ground. You saw him elevate himself right there. So he's going to get out of the harm's way of the shockwave. And Mitro's going to stay down here and just get down and dirty with the TAC SMG right now, Lupo.
You have to remember at the last set of placements here, the points really kick up as you go from 5th to 4th and 3rd to 2nd, and then the victory royale. So every time you see a player go down, like right there, the 4 trios remaining get even more points. As soon as one more trio goes down, we'll get it 1st and 2nd, and that's it. And we're down to the very last second here, the spray from above. This honestly, as soon as we got to top 4,
Mongrel won! Woohoo! I'm pretty happy Mongrel won. I kind of wanted them to win. Mongrel! 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 Right, peace. Peace.